So this is how I plan to get rich in the Big 26, coming up here in a couple months. I got all these parts for reasonable prices off Amazon, eBay, or Marketplace. Some stuff I overpaid for, like this 3600X. The shipping was outrageous, but I really wanted it. But the shipping didn't even make it worth it, and I didn't realize until like after I'd already purchased it. Pretty much, I just speed ran the checkout and got screwed on it. But I mean, I'm pleased in the end. I got some crazy deals on like these power supplies. Yeah, I just check in local on marketplace. $40 850 watt. This is fully modular. The other ones are non-modular and semi-modular, so that was a crazy deal for 850 watt. But in this video right here, I'm gonna be showing you guys how I built this middle one right here. This is my least profitable one overall, but it was still fun to find the parts, build it, test it, and then list it on the marketplace. These are my listings. I have this one listed. Actually, I have this one listed with it has a 1660 Ti in it, but I have it listed as a 5600 XT. I just haven't swapped it out yet. I disclosed it right here. This is what I built in this video, so stay tuned. Notice how when I'm picking this up, I'm picking it by the heatsink, trying not to touch the PCB. It's not like quite necessary, but you want to be safe. It's pretty fragile. Usually it'll be in something like this, which is what you want to keep this to put your CPU in later. It just slots right in there. There's no risk for it being broke. Yeah, you're just gonna want to just hold it like this. The pins, you don't have to be scared. You're not gonna break them, but like generally, just hold it like this. You're not gonna break it or anything. The pins are pretty fragile, but like you can drop this. Usually you have a shield for the USBs and shit. Usually it's in the bottom of the case, but in this motherboard is built in, it's pretty nice. Triangle on the bottom, you see that? You want to line that up with this triangle on the bottom of this. Is that right? That's kind of scaring me. All right, that time it went in real good. Just push down this. It's on here. If you're using like a normal cooler like this that screws in, you don't need it. Some of them have like little tabs you have to attach. So there's a back plate behind this. I'm just gonna wanna unscrew these. I recommend like the Linus screwdriver is pretty nice, but if you're getting like a used CPU, you're gonna want to clean off the old thermal paste as well. But I might replace it with some black RAM shit. I'm just using this for filler. 16 gigabytes at 3200 megahertz, DDR4. I guess just the top press in. Slot it in and apply pressure now. Clicks in. This. Clicks in. For the thermal pad, take the plastic off, but do not take the actual thermal pad off. That's this. Wait, is this? Yeah, that was right. It slots in just like that. Push down. No. Now when you're tightening the screws, Just make sure they're snug. You don't have to do them super, super tight or anything. And this was almost too much thermal paste. You just want a pea-sized blob in the middle, but I wipe my excess all around too. That's fine. You can't really do too much, but you just don't want to do too little. You just want to make sure that once you press down, that entire CPU is covered. And then now for this, tying a little bit at a time, and a star pattern. You don't want this one overly tight or overly loose. But generally, it should go on pretty easily. This case is pretty cool because it just opens and you just lift up and then the whole this bag. Ugh. Now before you put the motherboard in your case, make sure all your standoffs are on. Your case should have came with some standoffs. And right here, I use some linesman pliers to get them tied on. You're supposed to use almost like a nut driver, like a small nut driver to put them on. But these linesmans work perfectly as well. Just don't do them overly tight or else you might break one. Now, find your motherboard that you just lost because you're a dumbass. Uh-oh. Right here. Now for your motherboard, you're going to want to use these pan head screws. And make sure you have every single one in. The final thing is all the fans and then the power supply. Start off the power supply. I'll flip it to this side. So for this build, I got a non-modular power supply. It has a bunch of fucking cables in the back. And the screw just fell out. Nice. In the back, you're going to want to connect into your fan or into your case for the power supply. You always want your fan for the power supply facing down, so it'll go in there like this. This one's 750 watt gold Gamdius. Hard drive bay at the bottom of it. If you're not using hard drive, you can take it out. Okay, you're not going to use a lot of these. What you're going to need 24 pin. This is for newer graphics cards, but you're going to need 24 pin. This is one PCIe. This is SATA. You're gonna need that one for RGB and shit. Oh no, this is your PCIe. So one of them's your CPU, which you could use this one for your CPU and this one for your GPU, because most GPUs or it could potentially have two 8 prongs. I'd probably start by routing what you need in. Your 24 pin's always gonna go around right here. So bring that in. Yeah, you won't need this one. Just out this one, back just like that. The CPU always goes in at the top. Get you a better view of this. So, but yeah, it's actually labeled on it, CPU. I didn't realize that. Can route that up, plug in your 24 pin. So apply a little bit of force. These just don't go so hard you break the motherboard. GPU will go in later. I don't even have that yet. Actually, I gotta go pick that up. Oh, CPU. CPU got kind of fucked up. All right. This blue one is a major one you gotta plug in. Stick that in right there. It's usually right underneath or on top of the 24 pin. Oh, this one's actually it's down below. Yeah, it's right here. Yeah, you just plug this in. It's usually like right here. That's what I've noticed, but it's right here on this one. So you'll have these connectors on all your cases. They come pre-attached. They're for the USBs and stuff up top. I tried to show them in the video, but clearly I failed. They always plug into the bottom right of your motherboard. There's a diagram on the actual motherboard itself, and it tells you exactly where everything goes. And if you can't see it, then look up your motherboard manual online or look in the actual pamphlet you get in the box. It was kind of a pain to plug in. And this other one goes right here. That's pretty self-explanatory. You can just tuck your cables back down. Yeah, they're different than the round pan heads. Yeah, just make sure you remember to use the pan heads inside and the hex heads outside. And there we go. That PC's built besides the GPU. 1650 Ti's. I got two of them. All this was 270. These I'm going to use in some budget builds. Got the Ryzen 5 3500. Got some power supply cables I will probably never use. Some CPU filler hardware. But this right here, that's cool. Let's do this. Take the tab out. So it looks like we'll need at least two. I guess just the top one should work. Looks like that snapped in. So I got this plugged in. I had to do a BIOS update, so I had to download the BIOS, plug it in. I'm in the BIOS. We got 3600X, 6600 XT, 1 TB. All these are installing right here. Okay, there it goes. So when you're downloading your drivers, you can Google your motherboard and go to the website. And it should show you all the drivers as in like audio, Ethernet, Wi-Fi, a couple others I'm probably missing. It'll also show you your most recent BIOS. You're gonna want to have the most recent BIOS. So to update BIOS, you download it from another PC onto a flash drive, and you plug it in like as you're booting, and it should automatically update. If it doesn't, there's some things you can configure in the BIOS to get it to update. And to download Windows, you straight up go to you just look up like Windows 10 download, and you download an ISO file to a 32 gigabyte USB, and you plug it in anytime when you reboot the PC, and it should boot straight into Windows. And you'll need a key, like you just answer the questions or whatever that asks you, language, region, email, password, whatever. I forgot to mention some motherboards, depending on the brand, will come with like Asus, for example, Armor Crate, or MSI has Afterburner, I think it's called. It lets you download the drivers straight from the app. I recommend downloading them from Google, but if you want to use the app, go ahead. Sometimes they work well, sometimes they don't. It kind of just depends on the components you have and the motherboard itself and the BIOS version and all that. But if you see like a Norin one like a Norton antivirus thing, like automatically download. You uncheck it. It gives you like a checklist of what you want and don't want to download. Uncheck the Norton and uncheck anything else you might not want. Um, I mean, if you use Norton, good for you. It works for you, but I don't personally recommend it. Anyway, you can get a key from G2A or any like CD key website that any content creator would promote. I wouldn't really don't go with like a sketchy site you don't know that's trusted. Just make sure it's trusted before you buy. They're usually about 30 bucks. There has to be some ways you can get them for free. I'm not sure. I know there's some keys like on Google you can find that actually do work, but I don't know how accurate it is. I just buy the $30 key. It's only 30 bucks, unless you want to buy from Microsoft themselves. It's like 100 to like 200 bucks depending on the version. But just get Windows 10 Home, 30 bucks G2A. That's what I do. Works every time. And I do have an Activate Windows right now. So I might not recommend G2A actually. Buy from any other CD key website. I entered, the G2A code on my Windows and still says Activate Windows. Um, I'm not entirely sure what's up with that. It limits like your access to Windows, so it kind of sucks. So in the BIOS, you should always activate XMP. It just makes sure your RAM is running at max. And then there's also like usually like an AI overclock. You can turn that on, whatever. I want to overclock unless you're experienced. Maybe I'll make another video on that. I'm still like learning it myself. To be quite real. In this video, I didn't get into crazy specifics about how the components actually work, but maybe I'll make a video on how to match CPUs and GPUs, how to match components. I'll go into more detail on the BIOS, more detail on the Windows installation process. Um, but if you have any questions, let me know. I'm down to teach, and I'm learning new stuff myself every day.